All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us again for the Tuesday Tent Talk. The other day, I released a video with Josh talking about all about photo booths and everything. So today's the follow-up where are gonna just shoot some questions so that you guys can learn more about this business. Thanks for coming on this weekend, Josh, or today, Josh.
Mhm.
It's Tuesday now. I lose track of the days in the winter because it doesn't matter. I don't know when Sunday. I don't know. It's Tuesday though, obviously.
Yeah, it feels weird because all the days off and stuff like that for the holidays.
Yeah. Well, no, not even for the holidays, just because I don't have anything to do, so I don't pay attention. But all right, let's start off with some basic questions, and then some people will start submitting some.
Okay.
So let's first get into, you want a photo booth, entry level. Let's talk about what it's going to cost you to get into that.
Yeah, for sure. So typically when we get people that want to start, we'll try to figure out what their goals are, what type of events they want to service. So, whether they want to service like the high end, the corporate, the backyard birthday parties, they just want to get started. And we have a wide variety. We probably have the biggest selection out of any of the manufacturers, anywhere in the world. So, we typically would point them in the direction of a mirror, or if they're a single woman operator, a portable photo booth, something that breaks down into 6 pieces, because traveling is always a big problem. I remember like when we got started, we only had the road case style photo booths, and we had to buy like 3 company trucks. At the time, we had about 15 photo booths, and like we were using my car, and then we had to buy more cars because the attendants that would help us, it wouldn't fit into their vehicles.
Right.
We had to load it up. So luckily, now we made stuff more portable, and so we have different options like that. Typically, on the low end, we have the Chloe that just came out. I think you put that in the video. That was $4,000. That's a turnkey package. We worked really hard on that. Took me about 7 months to develop it. Has a mirror front and a 12-inch touchscreen behind that, full computer on the back end, Windows computer, and then HD webcam. We got the Logitech C930 is what we're using on there. So decent quality photos, not photos you're gonna blow up or put up above the fireplace, but something like that will get you started, get your foot wet, and then later on, as you grow your business, you'll start getting the calls where it's like, hey, what type of budget you have? Oh, it seems like you have more budget. Then you can upgrade to a DSLR booth, which is like a mirror booth, or one of our portable photo booths. And so that one starts about 7,000. And then on the highest end, we have the mirror photo booths. Like the Mirror 3 is 10,000. That one's real popular. It's just a seamless mirror photo booth. So we got wide ranges, for people to come in and great financing options too.
Right. Now people have to decide what market they want to target first, because like where I'm at, it's mostly rural. There's 2 or 3 cities of decent size, but there's not a lot of corporate events. I don't do a lot of corporate events for tents and stuff anyways. Mm-hmm. So my market, I'd want to focus on those weddings. Yep. I mean, if you're in some metro area with a big population, you may decide you want to go towards corporate events. And I'm assuming corporate events pay more or more lucrative, or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just the budget is bigger. They're also more open to like customizations, like, hey, you want a backdrop with your logo on it? Okay, that's $300, and then you can just go order it for $99.
Right.
Just different customization, the branding, email collection. Do you want it to do certain features like that? And they're willing to pay for it. It's because the person who's calling you to book on that, and you probably, well, you said you don't do corporates, but the person that's calling you to book, it's not like they're paying for it. It's coming out of the company budget. They just need to get it checked off their list. So, it's a good way to make an entrance, and then also offer them other services,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, just at the bottom, there's a ticker thing. Josh has an ebook. If you text tent to that phone number, he'll gather up all the emails and send you out the ebook all about a photo booth business. And there's more than that in there, right? Or didn't you say like stuff about just running a business?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, starting, running, marketing, talk about the website, CRM, how to get leads, that kind of stuff. Just kind of overview stuff.
Cool. All right, we got a question. So what is the dollar amount to cost to start with a photo booth, props, and other equipment? So we're looking at $4,000 for a basic unit, and he just kind of wants to know, like, props and other equipment you need, what's like a general?
Yeah, for general stuff, I mean, the props are pretty cheap. We
Right.
sell props. We have a separate company called kingprops.com. And that actually came out just because we didn't have good quality props, right? Like every week we were going to Party City and like buying hats and glasses, and like there's got to be a better way than this because people just steal them and go on the dance floor and stuff. So the PVC signs, they're about $5 to $10 each, and they're double sided. So you can get a couple of packs of those. You maybe spend $200, $250. Those will last you, 3 to 5 years, and then maybe $100 just on, the cup, the single. I don't want to say single use, but you can use them, multiple times. You just have to like maintain them. So yeah, just add, a couple $100 above that. Most of the people who sell photo booths, including myself, we sell the props as well, but that's typically not included with the package. That's something. It's kind of like when you buy a car, right? Like you go put tint and you put rims
Right.
and sound system, stuff like that.
I mean, like you said, people can go to Party City and buy some silly hats and other things. After Halloween, you can go buy some stuff that's like cheaper, things like that.
Yeah.
So how long does it typically take to get a return on your investment? Well, that's how much can you typically charge per event, and that'll lead us to like how long it's going to take.
Yeah. So what we've been training a lot of people to do is when they buy a photo booth, let's say they buy the Chloe booth, right, which is $4,000. So what we do, we try to tell them, if you're just getting started, look, don't swallow your ego and just tell people you'll do it for $500, no matter how long the event is. You'll include everything that they want. You'll come early, you'll set up and everything like that, okay? And you're just going to do 8 events at $500, and that's going to pay off your investment. Okay, by event number 8, you'll be very comfortable with your booth. You would understand the process of an event, know how to feel confident to charge more, and then switch to like hourly pricing, and add upsells and stuff like that. So I like to just keep it simple like that. The rule of thumb, it could be $250, $300 an hour depending on what city you're in. Like if somebody calls me and tells me like, hey, I'm having a wedding at the Omni Hotel, I know that's like $80,000 they're gonna drop minimum to spend at the Omni. You know what I mean? So I know they have a little bit more budget. But if it's a backyard party, you gotta kind of adjust with that. So this rule of thumb, try to pay off your booth first, no matter how, just do it for the experience, because the experience is going to teach you a lot.
Right. So then after that, what is like a general, I know every market's going to be different. You're going to have to look at your competitors, but like kind of a price range between how much you're going to be charging per hour.
Yeah, I would say it depends on the booth, whether it has the DSLR quality or, the webcam option or an iPad. There's a lot of iPad booths out there. So with the iPad booths, you're probably going to get maybe around $100 an hour. With the Chloe booth, about $150. DSLR booths, about $200 to $250 an hour.
Right. And a wedding is like, usually, what do they normally book you for? 4 hours, 5 hours?
It depends on where, how much budget they have left, at which stage of the wedding they call you. Like, if someone's doing a wedding with you guys, you're like in the front of the list, right? But then they do the DJ, the cake, the catering, the chair rentals, and then they get down to the photo booth, like, hey, we only got $500 left, X amount. And so, you got to kind of squeeze in, where you can.
Right. This is a very good question. How soon does the booth become old and you have to upgrade?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, depends on the definition of old. So old could mean like the software is outdated. Maybe there's a new feature that came out that you don't have access to. And so we use darkroom booth in our photo booths. So they're, based in Plano. They're about 30 minutes away from us. We work very closely with them. We have a great relationship. They're consistently releasing updates every month. And so they're staying on the cutting edge of it. They've been in the industry for, like 20 years, I think. And so, yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to come down to. The cameras that we put in there, it's all the latest equipment. It's just really taking care of it and then updating the software.
What about like if a camera goes bad, can someone replace it easily?
Yeah, the camera, we use the DSLR camera or a webcam. It's a simple replacement. You can get it, online or in stores, like that.
So like, it's not really going to go bad. You're going to upgrade your software, change out your camera if anything happens with that. But like in general, this, as long as you take care of it, like other things, it's going to last you a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this question is your slowest season, but I imagine that this is different all around the country. So let's just talk about your area.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a great question, actually. Keep them coming, guys. It's great. So slow season, like for us, was the summertime. Like I would say July and August was like
Okay.
really slow. Everybody's on vacation. This is really vacation mode, if you will. And so they're not really event planning. They're just trying to focus on, taking the kids to Disney World or, the beach or something like that. Then you have like October gets, pretty busy, and then the holidays, and then,
Right.
the rest of the year. But yeah, summertime for sure.
I guess like the best way to answer for anyone is just in your area, when is peak wedding season? Because there's always a peak wedding season somewhere. In my area, it's the fall. Everyone likes the rustic and everything. In other areas, it may be the middle of summer, so I'm going to say your slowest season is going to be whatever area you're in that when it's not peak season.
Yeah, and the weather too,
Right. Do you usually upsell or offer combos?
Yeah, we usually do combos. So we have like the basic package, which would include props, the photo booth, and then we'll try to upsell them. But if we feel like we're losing the deal, like, hey, we'll give you a scrapbook if you go ahead and put a deposit down today. We have a VIP upgrade, which would include like a red carpet and stanchions. We kind of originally talked about that with the branding. But as usual, packages, people appreciate that. They see more value, but also hold a little bit back, like whenever you speak to them, because they want to feel like everyone wants a deal, right? And so if you feel like, hey, I'm going to give you this little bit extra if you want to just put a deposit down today, then it kind of helps close the deal.
So a scrapbook can be an add-on.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's typically $50 is what we charge, and it's just a photo album that we get from Walmart. And you can be as elegant as you want or simple as you want. But for simplicity's sake, we tell them if you get the upgrade for the photo book, then we're going to double print all the pictures, and then we're going to put one picture inside the photo book for you automatically, and then they can sign it.
Right.
And that's just a simple photo album, and they appreciate that.
That's cool. Okay. Why invest in the photo booth during an economic crisis? Has this year affected you? Obviously, it's affected you. But
yeah. So, right now there's still a lot of people getting married. Obviously, with what's going on, it just depends on the state. Texas is a lot more lenient. There's a lot of events happening here in Texas. I know some states are locked down. Most of the people that I asked that question, that is the number one question. We have people flying from all over the country to buy a photo booth. Just the other day, we had someone coming from Chicago, and they spent $8,000 on the booth. So I asked her, I was like, hey, why did you do that? That's usually my first question, because it doesn't make sense, right? To most people. But they understand that nothing is forever. This is going to get cured, and also there's going to be a big demand next year. So all the events that didn't happen is going to happen. There's going to be double the amount of events in the best case scenario. In the worst case, whatever case, there's going to be more. Right? It doesn't really matter. So they can see the future. I think as entrepreneurs, we can see into the future, and we can like, hey, this is going to be gone, and pictures are going to mean more. You lose family members, that kind of stuff, and it's more important now, right? Because you couldn't have the wedding last year, and you lost a family member maybe to COVID. Like now, the event means more to people. It means more. Those pictures, that kind of stuff. So it's just about preparing for the opportunity. I just Googled the other day, like how many weddings happen in the U.S. It's 2.5 million a year from Google, and that's, I think 2 years ago, as of 2 years ago. So you would imagine, I would say maybe a million plus events didn't happen this year, which is going to get added on to next year's bill. And so there's just going to be a lot of opportunity. Some see the end of the world, some see opportunity, but
so try to look for the opportunity right now.
Yeah.
But this one's kind of not about the photo booth business. You can just answer this one quick. Did you custom build your website or do Wix or those other ones?
Yeah. So 10 years ago, I started building websites. It's one of my first business ventures that I did. I learned how to build WordPress websites, and I used to rank them in Google for little terms, and then people will come find the website, they'll click on the ads. I would put ads on the website, and I would make money like that for Google. So I actually learned how to build websites. I prefer WordPress. It is a little bit more complicated, but I feel like it's easier to rank with like for SEO purposes on WordPress. Because if you use Wix, you are building on their servers, and their servers are overloaded, or if there's like a porn website on their server and you're on that same server, you're going to get penalized for that. So typically check your hosting. I like SiteGround is one of the best hosting providers. Get those, then install WordPress on there, and then find a good theme. The theme that I use is called Enfold. If you just Google Enfold WordPress theme, it'll come up. One of the highest rated themes ever made. And, it's really customizable, and you have the flexibility to scale up and scale down.
And you don't need to know too much coding or anything with this?
You don't need to know coding. The setup, there's hundreds of videos on YouTube that can show you how to set it up, just as far as creating an account, installing WordPress, and then pointing your domain to it. It's really just those 3 simple steps.
And then the rest is just customize the
just drag and drop. You just
drag and drop. Okay.
Page, drag a form, drag a title, drag a picture, drag a video, and Enfold has all of that built in. You don't need to install different plugins and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Because WordPress can be a little scary for people, and where Squarespace is just drag and drop kind of things. But okay.
Yeah, and there's advantages to that. If you don't feel like you can do it, then maybe that's a good option for you. But long term, I like to fully have control of my website. As far as like how fast it goes, how fast it loads, the little customizations, and I've studied SEO for a long time. That's part of being successful that we had whenever we were in the rental business. We named the company Photo Booth Dallas. That itself had 500 searches a month, and so we were able to get ranked, number 1 spot pretty quickly, and we're still there till this day. 7 years later.
Right. Cool. All right. Do you drop off and have self-run booths, or do you do staffed events mainly? What do you recommend and why?
You can do drop-offs. Now, the thing with the drop-offs, just because I've worked, thousands of events myself, the people get drunk and, they can't control themselves. They'll start punching the screen, they'll start kicking the screen, or, maybe there's a fight, and it blows over or something like that. I have done drop-offs. It's really your preference. You have to gauge it, whenever you get there, or you screen them over the phone, but it can be done both ways. The cool thing with Darkroom Booth is that they actually have a booth control. So if you connect your photo booth to Wi-Fi, you can actually control it from your phone.
Right. Cool. All right. So what do you love about this photo booth business?
The cake, the wedding cake for sure.
Oh, yeah.
After you get set up, you go get wedding cake. I mean, it was a business that I made it big in. It means a lot to me, and I've tried lots of businesses over the years, MLM, all kinds of stuff, right? Herbalife, Amway, like just weird things. It didn't really work out, and this one, kind of took off and allowed me to, leave my job, support my family, travel the world, and live, a nice life. And now we teach other people how to do it, and allowed me to like when the day that my job came in and told me like, hey, your job's moved overseas and we don't need you anymore. I had the photo booth to fall back on. So I guess, that's why I like it a lot. Also, if you buy anything and you can pay it off in 8 events and then you have all your money back, that's not a bad deal right there. You can take that deal every day. There's not many investments like that.
So when you're at an event, do they feed you? Because I did valet for this one event as underneath the umbrella of my own company. And when it was time to eat, we're like, all right, where's our food? And the lady who was like the wedding planner or whatever goes, that wasn't in your contract.
Oh.
You don't get any food. And I was like, what? You're not going to feed us? Like, I just thought that was a thing. You feed the vendors there.
Gotcha, man. I took care of all the vendors I had a vendor table at my wedding because I was like, dude, I know exactly what you're going through.
Right.
Get the whole table for you guys, relax, eat. And they're going to do a better job. Like, man, my photographers, I told them, hey, relax and eat. I know what it's like. We got 3,000 photos back from the wedding,
Right.
Like a lot. I keep a fork with me because one time I remember it was the style where they bring the food to your table.
Right.
And, with those, they have limited, forks and knives.
Okay.
And it's not buffet style. Buffet style, they got the fork. And so I learned my lesson. I always keep a fork with me. So in case you need it, like you can have it.
Where do you buy your equipment? Well, obviously you buy your own equipment now because you sell photo booths.
Yeah, we sell photo booths, guys, at photoboothinterntional.com, photoboothint.com, or you can text me. Just look us up. We have a wide range. We'd love to help you. We've got a lot of inventory. One of the highest rated manufacturers on the face of the earth. We're able to take care of our customers.
One of those plaques behind you is because you've done $1 million in sales in photo booths, right?
Yeah, that's one for the photo booths, one for selling them, and then we just got the Inc. 5000 fastest growing company number 1239 in the whole of the United States. So that was a big accomplishment.
Right. So do these have print capabilities and like Wi-Fi?
Oh yeah, for sure. So all of them have a full computer, full Windows computer, so they can connect to Wi-Fi. You can upload to email, text message, Facebook, Twitter. I think they're doing Instagram now. Instagram is kind of picky with how you can upload, to them. But texting is usually the most popular. You just pop in your phone number. You can do it from your phone. They have the barcodes now, so it's kind of like a touchless experience. So they have all of that. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And this is more a business side. How much do you spend on social media marketing? Do you write, and then you have a website, obviously. Do you write content blogs for your website for people to go view?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a great question, Fred. So we spend about $5,000 to $10,000 a month, and that includes, Facebook, YouTube, Google, the blog person to write out blogs, email marketing, that kind of stuff. So we try to use all the platforms. Do you write the content? I don't personally write it. I would come up with like the titles and the ideas that I'm trying to convey across. I also would do the keyword research. So typically when you're writing a blog for your website, what you want to do is have an intention, right? Like, so you can I use a software called Ahrefs. They have a free 14-day trial. You go on there, you type in a keyword. Let's say for you guys, like, tent rentals, New York City, right? You can see how many people are searching for it. So you would then go and write, the best 10 tent rental companies in New York City, and come up with like a blog post like that, and then try to get that blog post found on Google. So that's usually our content strategy. It's we try to see what's already being searched, look at the competition for that search, and then try to rank our blog posts for that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good question. This is a very good question. What do you do to keep the wires and stuff and everything secure during transport? Because obviously you might be transporting in a case or whatever, but it's still going to shake around. So I'm assuming there's probably zip ties and all that stuff, but.
Yeah, for sure. So each of the photo booths go through a 60-point inspection by two separate people when they're being constructed. So we have two photo booth builders. They each build side by side, then they cross-check each person's work. So we use a series of like the 3M automobile tape. We use the zip ties, and then we use wire ties like that. So everything is it's really secure. When you get the booth, you just assemble it and plug it in. It's not any assembly like that. And all this experience comes from us working over 700 events a year. We did over 700 in 2015.
Can you leave a link for the service you just mentioned? I don't know which service you just mentioned.
Maybe the software?
Yeah.
Ahrefs, REFS, I think.
All right, just text that to me later and I'll put it in the description.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Do you sell any repoed photo booths? Because you guys do financing, right? So if someone doesn't pay their bill, do you get to repo the photo booth?
No, we don't. That's after the purchase is done, they coordinate with the financing company. We do have showroom models, on occasion, or one-off designs that, we tried a new design or a concept, and maybe it's like, hey, it didn't go as well as we thought it would. So we have those kind of stuff. It's just case-by-case basis. Feel free to reach out to us, and we'll definitely keep you updated with that, for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, let's see. We don't have any more questions coming in, but talk about the financing real quick, just so people know they don't have to come up with $4,000 right away. Yeah,
you don't really have to. Actually, we just brought on a new company. If you guys want to text me, you can text me on that number. That actually goes to my cell phone, and you can chat with me. We have a new financing company that doesn't do a credit check. They go off of your checking account. So if you got bad credit, or if you don't want to use your credit, maybe it's a soft inquiry, and you can get up to, I think, $5,000 as long as you have a job, some income coming in. They can typically get you approved, and we pick out the photo booth that you want, and then we get paid directly from them, and then you'll be able to get started. Now, the good thing about this company, which I really like, is that if you pay it off fully within 100 days, you actually don't pay any interest. So it's like 100 days, same as cash. So you
Okay,
do have
cool.
that option, yeah. And then we have the traditional financing.
How easy is troubleshooting during setup if there's a problem?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you.
And do you have a tech support number that
Yeah.
goes with it?
Mhm. Yeah, so we do have tech support. We have our own tech support. Darkroom, the software has their own tech support. And if you're at an event, the best thing to do is to take a video and post it inside our private Facebook group. And we have close to 1,000 people in there. I'm in there. Everybody's in there. We have ambassadors. So within minutes, you'll get a response. And so typically people, they call us and like, hey, my printer's not working. Okay, well, we need a little bit more detail. But if you post the video off it right away, that's the best way that we can help you. You can, hey, this is exactly what happened. Because everybody's done it before. There's a lot of people in there that have experienced.
Right. Okay, big question. Do you offer warranties? And the big question is, why should I buy your equipment?
Yeah, we do offer warranty, so you do get a 1-year warranty on that. Why you should buy our equipment? Because you cannot find the owners of the other photo booth companies doing interviews and stuff like this. We really care about our customers. You can Google it. You can look on our YouTube. We got over 100 video testimonials from people, and we really care. We don't really just want to sell you a booth. We came from the bottom. We started with nothing. I built my first photo booth in 2012. We made over 6 figures the first year, and we're really passionate about helping other people. And you really got to have a passion to get this kind of success. We don't make Inc. 5000. Just wake up one day and start a company out of the blue and do that. It really takes a lot to get these type of awards, behind us. And it's a token to show like our dedication to our customers and the business that we're in.
All right, that was a good answer. All right, so do you make custom booths? Someone comes to you and says they want this specific thing, this specific size.
Yeah, we don't. We tried to do that in the past, but because of the systems that we have set up in place, earlier I discussed, we have the 60 points, check that it goes through with 2 different people. If we have a custom order that comes in, it kind of throws the whole system off, and that's where the issues come from. Like a lot of times I get in trouble because people like my friends would order a photo booth and like, hey Josh, just put it in, and then like I'll go in there and submit the order form, and then like I don't fill out stuff correctly as my sales rep would, and then it's like it causes hiccups in the system because everybody follows a particular process, and so yeah, that's one of the reasons why we don't. It's not
right.
It takes too much time to do that.
And you said you spent 7 months designing the one you just put out, so it's like it takes time to get these good, right?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I mean we went through 4 different versions of it. So we had 4 prototypes made. Hey, this is a problem. Hey, move the USB down lower so we can plug it into the printer. Move the power cord so it doesn't get jammed. We need to make it tilt. We need to make the screen bigger.
Right. He said he would never buy a custom photo booth anyways. He just wants tried and true.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which all yours have been through testing and made sure to be good.
Yeah.
But so anything else you want to add? Because this is about the time I like to end it. I don't like to have these go too long.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's it. I mean, there's just going to be a lot of opportunity next year. So I personally think that there's going to be a shortage of providers because like, you probably know, you've been doing this for a long time, like those popular dates, that come up, whether it's like, March or whatever. It's like everybody wants to have the event on this day, like December 6th, usually that's the first weekend in December, right? All the holiday parties happen, for corporates. I know you don't do a lot of corporate stuff, but for photo booths, like that's the first weekend in December is the most busiest time.
Right.
And I think next year is just going to be a lot of dates like that, and there's just going to be a lot of demand and maybe not enough suppliers. So be a good opportunity for someone to get in and get started and surf the wave. Like I said, just don't focus on that ego. Just pay off your booth and then adjust as you go accordingly, and then you would have got your booth for free basically, right?
Right.
That's
awesome.
It. But feel free to text me if you have any questions. Love to help anybody out.
Yeah, everyone, text that number. It's just a free ebook. He's going to send it to your email, and even if you're not looking into getting into photo booths, I think it will just generally shed light on just running a business, kind of.
Yeah, and I always send out, tips, tricks, hacks, and updates, and things that I'm doing, to grow myself, my wealth, my business, and so it'll be cool. And that goes right to me. If you have any questions after that, you can text me that too.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so Josh, we're going to have you on later on in 2021 because you are also going to be selling or started selling throne shares.
Yes, throne shares. That's going to be good. I was going to have one back there, but I went to pick it up, and man, it was already sold. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. Maybe we'll do that earlier before the season begins because everyone asks me where I bought mine.
Yeah.
And where I bought mine, you don't want to buy it from, so I don't really have a person to send them to besides
Yeah, we're investing a lot into that, and it's going to be really good. I think it's a great add-on. So easy, easy money, and it just makes people happy. Like something will happen going through. I don't know what it is. This makes happiness coming down.
All right, real quick, just mention your YouTube channel, and it's all going to be in the comments, not the comments, in the description too. But what is your YouTube channel?
Yeah, YouTube, Photo Booth International, or you can Google Josh Pather, or Josh Pather on YouTube. That's my personal YouTube. I talk about wealth building, business stuff, that kind of stuff.
Okay, sounds good. Everyone, thanks, and I'll let you know when you're going to be back on and talk about throne shares because I get a lot of questions about throne shares.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks.